Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Middle-Aged Mutants Show. My name is Ty. We are broadcasting to you telepathically from the Batcave underneath Wayne Manor. And right now, if you feel... God almighty. We haven't done this in so long, boys, I forgot how to do my little shtick. If at any time during this broadcast you feel as if your hair's sticky and you're all gross, it's because Bruce Wayne, he doesn't clear out all the bats around here, and there's a lot of guano all over us right now. Really, really disgusting. As always, I'm joined by the Brotherhood of Middle-Aged Mutants, Bodz and No-H. Gentlemen, starting with Bodz, how the heck are you? Hello? Are my friends here?
Bodz is, it's
Bodz
been
is
so long,
gone.
Bodz.
No,
Bodz doesn't even know
go
what
ahead
to
and
do.
take it.
It's been so long since we've done one of these. Bodz just forgot entirely. Forgot he was supposed to be here. Forgot he's...
I think the Wi-Fi dropped him.
The Wi-Fi probably dropped him.
The Wi-Fi, he's been having a little bit of trouble, folks.
It's been a while. That's what we can say.
Oh yeah, he just dropped off.
But hey, we're glad to be back. We're still middle-aged, not getting any younger. So we are going to try our best to keep up with modern times while secretly just focusing on better nostalgic times when life was easier and I understood things.
A lot better. Yeah, we were on a hiatus for a while. I've talked about this on the actual arcade broadcast that we did last week for the Punisher. I had a good job. So that's what happened. It was totally my fault. We weren't supposed to be off the air that long, but life happens and I had to take care of it. But now everything's good and we can come back.
Now the job is not good anymore, so now we're available.
Yeah. It's different.
It's different, but we're happy to be back. And anybody who's returning, welcome back. Anybody who's just now finding us for the first time, welcome. And if there is no one there, well, we can just say whatever we want at this point, right?
I know. It doesn't appear that we have any viewers at the moment, so it's time to break out the F-bombs.
It's trying to break out the slurs.
So they would never know that I wasn't here?
Yeah. Nobody there.
No, we know here, Bodz.
Noticed.
I heard, what was weird is what threw me off is I hit the transition and then I hit the music at the same time. And for some reason, they I guess whenever they hears music come through, it makes the little transitions quit because it doesn't want to cover up the audio. So that threw me off. And then you got kicked. We could hear you like cursing and stuff in the background.
I could hear y'all. So that's
no, I could just hear you doing a big sigh at the end before you left. You're all,
I may be doing some cursing because it looks like I'm not even a Bills fan, but it looks like they're going to lose as of this recording.
Boy, I love losing Super Bowls.
Yes. Well,
shouldn't we be used to it by now?
You should be used to it by now. This is not a sports football podcast by any means,
but it is now.
It is now. Welcome to the Sports Zone.
With our knowledge of sports, we will tell you what's going on.
We need a sound effect for this now. It's going to come up occasionally because No-H is the one who really follows the sports. So every time he does that, from now on, I'm going to hit the ESPN button. I just got to put that sound effect on my board.
Well, you may just have like a gunshot sound effect because it looks like it's going to be Eagles and Chiefs. And oh my gosh. Ugh. Actually, it's just going to be a snoring.
You mean like a suicide sound effect?
Yeah, we take that very seriously.
Or we can just do this one. There you go.
Yeah, or it's really just going to be snoring because this is going to be a boring Super Bowl.
Oh, I got this. I got this one. Let's see if this works for you. Oh, what the heck? I turned the sound down.
The crickets.
Yes. Reminds me of my stand-up days.
Oh. Don't sell yourself short there. Oh, actually, I need to be quicker on the draw now that I have this board. I could have been, or I could have been nice and I could have been, hey, or I could be even nicer. That's what you really heard.
You need to set it up like the old days. Remember they used to have the old Arnold Schwarzenegger prank calling people?
Yes, the classics.
Stop eating other people's lunches. You need to
stop it.
Just try to make it work with our thing like he's here with
and
us.
If you're middle-aged like us, that probably rings a few bells. Or it's just tinnitus. I don't know.
I have to tell my wife has gotten mad at me twice for she was she was saying something to me at one time, and I said, "You know what? I didn't hear. All I hear is a high pitched whine," and she got really pissed. And I was like, "No, I have tinnitus like super bad. I'm not saying you sound like that. I was like, that's all I hear all the time."
Practicing the Valentine's Day rap there. Getting ready.
Getting ready. Boys, there's something I wanted to tell you. You didn't know this. I've kept this under my hat. We actually are getting a celebrity call in this evening. It's the highest celebrity that you guys could possibly.
Talk to us.
I mean,
Wow.
you're probably not going to believe this, but your boy, your producer, your showrunner, the best. You just keep saying stuff about me without me having to say it. I've been able to secure a quick 2 or 3 minutes with the president of the United States, the 47th president of the United States,
Oh wow.
Mr. Donald Trump.
Donald J. Trump
President Donald Trump.
Calling our show. Wow.
He's going to call our show. I'm waiting for him to call in. The lines are clear right now, but I'm waiting for him to call in. Oh wait, look. Oh boys, I think he's here. Let me go ahead and put him on the phone right quick.
Hello? Is this thing on?
Hello, Mr. President.
Is this thing, boys? Can you hear me? Can you hear your favorite president?
I can. Loud and clear.
Loud and clear, yeah.
Hey, well, I just wanted to say thank you, boys, for your endorsement. A lot of people will say that it was probably the assassination attempt, or maybe Joe Rogan's podcast, or even RFK's endorsement. But I think what really pushed me over the top, and I have to say this because it's true. Believe me, it was the Middle-Aged Mutants who really pushed me over the top. Your endorsement was better. It was huge. I just have to say, I haven't gotten an endorsement that was so glowing than from you gentlemen. And I just wanted to say thank you personally. Personally, your endorsement was huge.
Wow. And if Ty were here, he'd be over the moon. Yeah. But I have to say, well, first of all, thank you.
I know he's a busy man. He's got other things going on. Frankly, he's the most busiest, best producer in the business. Biggest penis as well. I've heard. I don't know.
Well, we will let we will let the gossip rags talk
and
about
handsome.
that.
Lord, that man is handsome. He's the handsomest Latino / white guy I've ever met in my life.
He's like the Diet Coke of people.
He's quite the young man. He's an inspiration to me every day. When I go and I fill out my executive orders, I'm thinking about what would Ty do? What would he do? He would kick ass and take names. That's what he would do.
That could be, hey, Mr. President, you're giving us ideas for T-shirts over here.
I'm telling you, it would be huge. You boys, you can have that one for free on Trump. Just take that one on me.
Well,
but anyways, boys, I got to get back to my next rally. So I'll see you boys next time, as they say.
Thank you so much for calling. I can't believe it. The president called in. That's so amazing.
And Ty didn't have anything to say to him whatsoever.
God bless, boys. God bless. And tell Ty I said hello.
All right. Okay.
Wow.
Okay, sorry guys. I had a little bit of a technical difficulty there. Did y'all get to talk to him? I couldn't hear him.
Well, it's that
couldn't hear?
darn tinnitus acting. You couldn't even hear
I know.
It's
high pitched whine all the time. I don't get.
He was just talking about me and John. I think he forgot you were.
I don't think he mentioned you once.
Yeah,
that's such a bummer.
Not at all.
He's an inspiration, to me. That's part of the reason why I started this show.
Yeah, and man, he probably once in a lifetime opportunity.
I know.
Just weren't here.
It's like whenever Lois and I forget the guy's name all the time. He has a comic about
Jimmy.
What's it? Not the younger one. Olsen. Can
Jimmy Olsen.
Yes.
Jimmy
They're
Olsen.
all. Where's Clark Kent? I always forget that kid's name. Jimmy Olsen.
Jimmy Olsen. Clark Kent. Perry White.
And this is a podcast about comics.
Comics. Hey, I'm more of a. Y'all know that the most that I read of Superman is perhaps 1 or 2 comics a year. I don't really read that much Superman, to be honest.
I remember
It's
you had
just
a
not-
lot of negative things to say about Superman, and if you were
I
here
have
right
in the
now,
past. I've said for some pretty negative stuff about Superman. He's just
and
not.
guess what? We have a call in, everybody. It's
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Actually,
President
I
Trump.
don't have
huge.
I don't have a lot of experience with Superman. I am going to pick up. I did pick up the Super Sons. I told y'all about that, which
Yeah.
I'm quite excited to read. But that's still like a very that's a very minute amount of Superman in there, as far as I know.
what about like Absolute Superman? Is that something that would interest you? Like a new take?
You
on
know,
it?
I don't know if I'd go for the new take. I saw that there's an omnibus for the Triangle era of Superman, and I'm kind of interested in that. After we read the whole Generations, Superman's arc in that was pretty good, and I did like it. So I am interested in reading more Superman, but it's one of the characters that I'm just not as familiar with these days. To be honest, I have more familiarity with Image than I do with Marvel. I'm so sorry with
Oh.
DC. The only one there was one. Well, there was like one. Y'all know there was one era that I was like, or one story that I was really hooked on. Whenever the Image kind of like, you know how when the bloom was off the rose there, because I went from Marvel to Image, and then I kind of went back to DC in a small capacity, and then I came back to Marvel.
Yeah.
But I remember whenever I came off Image, I was reading Nightwing, and it was just the Chuck Dixon run, then Night in Bloodhaven.
Oh yeah.
And
Yeah.
that was there's like one or two instances where Superman shows up in that, and that's it. So my experience with Superman is quite low, to be honest.
Yeah.
You know, I lately I haven't been reading as much Superman, but I haven't been reading as much in general as I would like. I remember I saw on Bodz this the other day where it's like one of the reasons I haven't even finished. I started reading Batman Year One, right? And one of the reasons I haven't finished that story is because it's at night. I'm ready to go to bed. I'm read a comic book before I go to bed. So tired, so exhausted.
Yeah.
I'm like, I can't read one word of this. I'm
I know,
so
it just like
tired.
immediately the world goes black. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh man, I just can't even. Well, does Batman make it to year 2? I don't know. I'll never find out. It's like, I don't know. Yeah.
But to go over a little bit of what we're going to talk about today, we actually have a couple of things on the list. We're going to be talking about the Superman 2025 trailer, Daredevil Born Again. We're also going to be talking about Doom: The Dark Ages trailer, Ultimate Wolverine #1, and Batman Year One, as it is in the title of this video. So let's like move in on this, guys. Let's start with the beginning here. Let's go ahead and look at the Superman 20. We're gonna start calling. We're gonna actually act in the future now because we're kind of changing up the show. First, we should probably talk about that first. We're probably only gonna do this about like once a month. If we get faster at it, or we feel like we can do it, we may do twice a month. We will have gaming streams in between all that, but for right now, we're just gonna focus on quality. Unlike this video as it's going so far, but we're gonna focus it on quality and instead of quantity, because before when we were doing it weekly, it was a beating. Trying to do your main job and then come out here and do this, and just trying to find topics that we could put on a weekly show was just absolutely hell.
Yeah.
So we're gonna be focusing on quality. So we're gonna have different sections to our videos now. We're gonna have some new like, I wouldn't call it. We're gonna call them bits, or they just like new format that we're gonna try. We're gonna have discussions. We're gonna have some. I pulled that woke bingo. We're gonna start doing that with trailers. But it's gonna have to be certain trailers. Right now, I don't have that set up, but just stuff that we can do while different stuff for variety's sake. We're gonna add some new stuff to the show. So, but right now, this is going to be kind of our news section that we're going to do at the very beginning of videos, and not to date these videos too bad, but to talk about, because it's been a while since we've actually been up and actually doing anything online. So a lot has happened, like the Deadpool Wolverine. But I do believe we talked about that, didn't we, Bodz? Deadpool Wolverine.
We showed like the teaser trailer, and we talked about that.
Yeah, but did we actually talk about that we watched the movie?
Did.
I don't remember if we did
watched the
either.
movie.
Well, you watched the movie before all of us. I think that's what happened. Is you watched the movie first, and then we asked you about it.
I watched it first,
and then we then in July,
I took you to it.
or was it August? I think it was actually August. You took me to it, and then No Age saw it later.
No,
So,
I didn't see it still. He claims he
have
saw
not
it.
seen it. I actually haven't seen it.
You still
Well, if
haven't
don't like
seen
a
it?
good time.
I have not seen it yet.
Wow.
It's on Disney Plus.
I have been
Yeah.
following different Ryan Reynolds drama lately.
Oh yeah, the I don't know the name of the guy.
Whatever his name is, Justin something. Where basically the nice bull character is basically this guy.
Yeah. But I think that's all. My wife's been telling me about this, and I just, I don't keep track of like celebrity gossip kind of stuff. But she was telling me how like apparently this guy who's now, I don't know if he's suing Ryan Reynolds or Ryan Reynolds is suing him. There's all kinds of stuff going on.
I think he's suing Blake Lively because
there's lawsuits all around.
Yeah, it seems like there's
everybody.
quite a few things going on here.
Or maybe
but
she
apparently
was suing him
he's in a
first and
movie
he's
with
suing-
Blake Lively.
Yeah,
Is that what it is?
Yeah, it all started with that movie. It ends with Us, and I think she was suing him or something, and then now, he's suing Ryan Reynolds for using Nice Pull like it's based on him. I don't know.
It's probably like a countersuit kind of thing where he's just like he's being sued and he's suing back.
It's sort of like a defamation of character type of thing.
Yeah.
I'd heard some wild stuff. Like at one point, my wife said that somebody had said that Ryan was going to the actual set and watching the dailies, and then he would run into his wife's trailer and like start yelling, and then next thing you know, this guy's getting accused of stuff and stuff like that. And apparently, there's some explicit scenes in this movie with that guy and Blake Lively, and I'm like, is this a jealousy thing? I don't know.
Everything that comes up makes it sound like it's a jealousy thing.
Yeah,
and that's what I would say. You have Ryan Reynolds and Will Smith starring a movie together. Yeah, and I think that would slap. I think that would slap.
Oh my God. It already begins. It starts again. All right, well, then let's get into this so that we can get to discussing stuff. So the first thing I got on board is the Superman official trailer. I think we just briefly spoke about this in the past, but I don't know that we've actually watched the trailer and the show. So here we go. I think this particular trailer just came out a day or two ago. So this is like a new cut or something.
Like a new teaser.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I gotta say, I do like the music.
Yeah.
What's interesting on my end, I can't hear the music, so I'm just having to make up my own. Me so horny. Ooh, me so. I think that's what James going to go with.
Oh my God. So that was apparently just a teaser. Is that much different than what we've already seen?
Well, it looked like it was like other things in there.
Hold on, this is the one that came out before, right? And this is 2 minutes. That one seemed like it was like 30 seconds.
Yeah,
I think it's just like the shorter.
Yeah, it's like the shorter cut of it. Yeah.
like
So
the
what I can tell you,
horny song.
just me so don't even know what they are, but I'll tell you what's been setting X or Twitter ablaze is this barrel roll kind of 360 twist scene that Superman does, and at one point
was the stuff we just saw just a second ago where he spun.
Yeah, where he's flying and he does like a little turn or twist thing, and so to this day there's a lot of Snyder cult members who will just never let go of the Snyderverse, and then there's just people hating on James Gunn, which is like kind of just par for the course. These things are going to exist, but one of the main critiques of that one shot at the very end there is that Superman or David Cornsweet looks cockeyed.
Yeah, he does. I was going to say he looks kind of boss-eyed, dude.
And I should have sent you all this before.
He does look a little cross-eyed.
I'm going to text you.
He's going to go.
So I'm going to text you the image I made. I texted you all this. So I don't know if you can.
No, I can't. I can't bring it up. I mean,
okay.
I can't.
I should have done it before, but it's basically. If only you, the viewers,
if only I can bring that up. Can I bring this up? Hold on. I gotta show. Did you do this? Did you do this?
Yes.
Oh, for flip's sake! I have to bring this.
I did post it on my X account.
Oh,
I don't know
for
if you can do
crying
it.
out loud, OH. You can't do shit like this to me.
I'm like, why did I just now think of this to do? But
oh shit! Now I got to do this stuff on the fucking fly. Here, hold on a second.
Or what the idea? But there's been a lot of criticism about him being cockeyed, and like he's really talented because he's really talented because he can go after Brainiac and Lex Luthor at the same time.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm bringing this up, ladies and gentlemen. This is like, Noich really should have brought this up before. This is his job to do this stuff.
I don't know why. I posted it like everywhere except.
Of course you did. Did you put it? Oh wait, did you put it on Twitter?
I put it on X, Twitter. Yeah, under my account. So I posted earlier in the day at John McBride. If everybody wants to go there. Small plug, but
I'm going there now. Let me get off this show.
Hold on, I gotta go to Twitter. I can't believe you did do this, Noe.
I don't know why. Man, some professional I am, content creator. Me.
I'm just gonna bring it from my. I'm just
gonna
bring it.
The things I've been seeing the most about the last trailer were Guy Gardner's hair.
Yeah,
everybody's not liking Nathan Fillion's hair, which is funny because it's like that's what it looks like.
Yeah, no,
so,
that's it.
And what's interesting about that is, as we wait here for the supervision image to come up, is when Guy Gardner very first came out in like the '60s. He had a crew cut. He didn't that the bowl cut didn't get introduced till years later.
Yeah, that's like a big thing, like in the '80s or so.
Yeah. So
and even more modern like takes on he has a better haircut now.
It's like a buzz cut now.
But he's known for that one,
it's supposed to look silly, so it's like whatever.
Yeah.
And so Superman's hair, especially as he's flying, and it's still frame right here. I've noticed that his hair is a little bit more. It's tousled and tussled, and I'm like, I think I kind of like that because. Would he have time to put product in his hair? I mean, he's fast, but come on.
He's got all the time in the world.
I guess.
If he's got super knitting skills, then he has super like hairstyling skills. All right. Let's be real here. Let's see.
He's a super ventriloquist. He can do that.
Yeah. He can do a lot of things. Trying to bring it up onto the actual. I guess I could do it like this. File open. Yeah, there it is. Okay, this is. Oh my God! For crying out loud. Okay, so there it is.
It's very dangerous. Look out, everyone from East Coast to West Coast. Look out!
Oh my God! And this reminds me of the time me and Bodz were we were in a Walmart, and we're buying ammo. We're with our friend Robbie. And there's this lady selling us. I'm buying like 22 ammo. We're just gonna go plinking, and this lady is like mega cross-eyed. Like one eye, I swear to God, is looking directly across the viewplane of the other eye, and she turns and looks, and she says, "Magnum or long rifle?" And I think she's looking at Robbie, but she's looking directly at me when she says this. And I just kind of look around and she goes, Magnum or and then Robbie like bumps me and says, she's talking to you. And I go, oh, long rifle. I thought you were talking to him. I thought you were looking at him. And I was like, oh, I couldn't have made it any worse. She looks so pissed off at me. It's so bad.
It's like, and now we're just ready to cross the T's and dot the
lowercase J's. But the teaser I actually like a little bit better than this. I don't mind the flying sequence here, but the teaser got me a little bit more.
The thing is, the more I see people complain on X, the more it makes me like this. Because otherwise, what I see is like standard Superman flying shot you would see in any movie, right?
Yeah.
And people are like, Zack Snyder's the blueprint. I'm like, well, is he? Because this is the same. Any director would do this with Superman. Like, it doesn't really matter. And the more people complain, they find little things to complain about. I'm like, okay, the cockeyedness, I'll give you that one. Because you can't ignore that. Somebody did bring up, though, somebody different, like the marketing department went with this. You can clearly see his eyes going just all.
Well, with as much CGI as you
You-
have today, you think you
you-
could fix its eyes?
You know what I'm
Yeah.
thinking is maybe that the camera is so close. It's like a
It
weird
could be like a
wide shot.
wide camera.
Yeah,
shot.
maybe it's just doing that. But you could definitely fix that. That can definitely be fixed. But I see
Yeah.
one thing in this trailer that I know John does like is the symbol on the back of the cape.
So yes, I do like the yellow S on the back of the cape. I know maybe like original he didn't have it, but I'm like, it's just my favorite to see as the yellow S on the back of the cape.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just what I grew up with, and I like the idea of it being like a Kryptonian banner type of thing. But
Yeah.
I will say,
I just don't like the S. I
The
understand
S?
it's the Kingdom Come S.
The Kingdom
That-
Come mess. Yeah.
I would say it's hard for me to get past the S. To me, it's such a bad choice.
Well, what do
And,
y'all
like-
because we saw like early pictures of this. What do y'all think about the costume now? Do you think it any better? Are you
It
still
still
on the
looks
fence
like
about
Party
it?
City.
It just
still
looks
like,
a little too bunchy. Like
Yeah.
I really think they should have gone for a more spandexy type thing. I don't understand.
I'm
I get
watching,
where this is kind of like a mixture of the New 52 costume
Yeah.
and the Kingdom Come costume. I get that, but
here's my theory. It's like I think James Gunn, like, no one's going to be happy with the costume, so I'm going to take little bits from every era and
Yeah.
barf it all into one costume, so
And
now
then you can't-
nobody's happy.
Then you can't say that's not from the comic book. Yeah, it is. It's from
Yeah, it is.
this and this and this and this. But
We're
I'm
just
watching.
mixing.
I'm watching Superman and Lois. I'm finishing it because I've watched season 1 and I fell off in season 2, and I'm watching it right now and I'm just thinking, man, that costume for a TV show looks better to me.
It does.
Even
Yeah.
though I do like the red trunks. I like the trunks, but
yeah.
the I don't know the way
Well,
it just looks more
now we know that the trunks
muscular.
on the trunks on the of any superhero are absolutely vital. After I don't know if you guys have read the I think it was the Chip Zdarsky run where Batman fell from space and the
Oh.
only thing he had, like, okay, so he's fallen from space and he's got like his little mask because it's the whole failsafe thing. Remember how failsafe gets activated and he basically
Yeah.
just starts like, tearing up the entirety of the Bat family, and then Batman ends up taking on the Zur-Anar persona
Yeah,
to actually fight it off because as far as I understood, he had taken on the Zur-Anar persona to create kind of a Tower of Babel-esque contingency plan against himself. Well, like this contingency plan pretty much took out the entirety of the Bat family and also took out the entirety of he actually took out Superman as well at one point, and then he ends up at the Watchtower and he has to escape the failsafe robot or the android, I guess what you call him. He jumps out of the Watchtower, and so he this is where I call bullshit. He goes from the moon to Earth, and he's got like his little oxygen mask on, and he gets close to Earth, and he's like, "Man, I'm gonna have to like barrel through the atmosphere, just raw dog." And so he takes off his trunks and he wraps them around his mouth. He's like, "Well, they're heat resistant. They should keep me from burning up." And I was, oh,
Wait,
dude.
he
You gotta
basically
have-
put his so
Either
he put his
way.
underwear.
Either way, he put his nuts or his butt on his mouth. That's what he
Yeah.
did,
And
basically.
it's heat resistant, so he gets really warm down there. a lot.
Yeah, it's all
He's all
sweaty
that-
because it doesn't
That
breathe.
really held the farts in. So
Yeah.
really,
Well, there's
really
another
sweaty.
layer though. There's another layer. Remember, he's got the he's got the trunks and then he's got the tights underneath.
yeah,
So it's like he had a little bit of a barrier, but still, at some point, he's running away. He's all I'm guessing he's all nervous. He probably let one go, and so
Yeah.
I don't know it's kind of like would you rather kind of situations. Would you rather have the front of your trunks on your mouth or the back of your trunks on your mouth?
So if we were a less mature show, I would suggest like a bit or something of like it could be like Batman or any type of movie badass, like the times where they do let one fly, because it happens. They're human beings. Like, let's say in Taken, Liam Neeson's character, after he gets off the phone with his famous phone call, like, "I will find you," and then he hangs up and he goes, "Burn!" Like that's like,
Oh, he's like
God.
it's like he's all, I will find you. And I can't remember the whole speech, but after he's done, he's like, and then he just lets it go.
The funniest crude body humor I think I've seen is, I think it was the first Ted where Joel McHale was playing.
Oh
like
God.
He's playing like the douchebag character, right?
Yeah.
And like I think after they finally tell him off, whatever, he lets one flies up and waiting so long to do that. Like he had been holding it in the entire
My
time.
favorite part of that movie is whenever Mila Kunis and Marky Mark get home, and like Ted's sitting there with all the hookers, and then they turn and look, and there's a hooker's poop on the floor, and then he's like, "Get it! You can't ever use the hand again." It's so awesome. That had me rolling on the ground, dude. The first Ted is awesome. The second Ted,
the first Ted had Flash Gordon in it, so
yeah.
that
So I mean,
awesome.
10 out of 10 would watch again. But
So,
that was the Superman trailer. I know we digress a lot. That's kind of a hallmark of our show. We digress. It's like what we do.
That's what we ramble
That's what we do.
on.
But
well, you know what's funny is like, so this is, maybe it's because we're middle-aged. Maybe it just feels like there wasn't that long ago there was a Superman movie, and it's still America. The world is still kind of still like thinking, wait, Henry Cavill Superman, right? Like, no, oh, okay. And it's kind of like Spider-Man. It's like they come out with these things. They do not wait very long to just repackage and just restart the thing again, right? And I feel like, I don't want to say like no, but I definitely feel like I'm not as excited as I feel like I should be for a new Superman movie.
Yeah.
Like I am, but I'm also like, I'm getting flashbacks to, well, Zack Snyder, because I'm like, I remember liking Watchmen, liking 300. Then they say he's going to do Superman. I'm like, oh, no, I don't like him for that, though. It's the same thing for James Gunn. I'm like, yeah, I like him for Guardians of the Galaxy, but I don't necessarily know about Superman, and time will tell.
Yeah.
But I'm also like, at this point, I'm like, I don't know, man. You know, you're going to get me paying for a ticket to see it. I'm a nerd. I'm going to go see this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I feel kind of obliged to see it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, but I'm not like really hyped and excited. I don't know. Maybe that'll change closer we get to it. But I have a feeling like, yep, it's going to be a James Gunn movie. It'll have all the strengths and weaknesses of every James Gunn movie. So
I kind of hope that he flips the script and kind of changes up his role on this, because it just seems like he's like, I have to make everything funny. The Guardians of the Galaxy, as far as I know, were not very funny in the actual comic. The movie took that direction, and it's a lot of people say, well, they're not really the Guardians of the Galaxy. It's just kind of like it's the James Gunn, the Gun Galaxy. It's not really them. So I'm kind of hoping that he doesn't take that direction with Superman, because it is not. I mean, you can have your humor, that's fine, but he did the same thing with Suicide Squad. And so I'm kind of hoping that he does. It's not everything is a Guardian, like, because that's the problem I had with Zack Snyder. Everything was the Dark Knight version in the DC universe. And I was like, I'm so bored of how dark this is and how
it's going to be boring. We're going to go from one extreme to the other, too grimdark to goofy.
Yeah.
And like if Superman has like a dance off with Lex Luthor at the end, I'm like, okay.
So you did see the new trailer.
Yeah. I mean, this is fine for Star-Lord, you know what I mean? But I don't know. This is Superman, and I'm like, it's just like I said, like I just feel like I don't really know what to expect from this. Although I'm every day, and I've said it on the show before, I'm just like trying to suppress and quell I know I'm going to hate this feelings. I'm like, that's unfair. You don't even know
there
yet.
were some stuff that gave me some hope when I was watching this trailer, because I'm a sucker for the dog. When they put Crypto in there,
of course, the dog.
The dog got me, is what got me. And then the score comes up, and they pull from the original 1970 Superman, and I'm like, okay, you've got me in two areas here. You've lost me with the costume. This guy, I don't know him from Adam, so I can't say anything about that. You don't have a totally ugly Lois Lane like you've had the past couple of times. You're doing things that are right, and visually it doesn't look that bad. The CG isn't that bad, like the Flash. I think it's overall it's made me more interested, because at first I was like, I don't know about this. I I just can't get invested in the DCU if it's just going to suck again. But so far, this has got me. This got me a little bit more. You know, I'll give it the old college try. Is what I'm trying to say. I will actually probably go watch this. So mission accomplished on James Gunn's part, if that's what the ultimate goal here, and of course it is. But this is it's better than I thought it was going to be. As long as it wasn't dark, I was most likely going to go see it.
Yeah, and I'm sure it'll just be a fun time in the theater. Like I'll enjoy it while at the time I'm watching it, and that's all you can ask of any movie. But I kind of feel like the time, maybe just for me, but the time of a film being like a cultural like event or like just personally like it changes me somehow. I don't know if that's coming again. You know what I mean? Like I feel like I've seen enough movies.
Yeah, like we're jaded at this point from all the.
Yeah, like I'm very cynical, and it's like I don't know. Like because you remember you're younger, you see movies, and I'm like, oh man, that's gonna stay with me for life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
we were so serious that like I remember me and No H would go like midnight screenings of things. Like we didn't.
Well,
want
shit. Whenever
ruined.
Blade came out and X-Men, oh my god, when Blade came out, I was so happy to see a movie that was from Marvel that didn't suck. I was just like, I'm blown away by that movie, and it just started a new like. Whenever the X-Men came out, I was totally down for that until I saw it, and then I was a little less down for this.
Yes,
I did like Hugh Jackman, but there's a lot of other stuff I did not like about that movie. But it's kind of like
what? It is ripped from the comics.
It is a complete. No, it was ripped from the comics that came out after it was made. Because then you get was it Grant Morrison or was it Grant Morrison?
Morrison.
You got the X-Men.
Morrison. They all decided to wear black leather.
Yeah, they're like, hey, we changed it up. Yeah. Yes, I guess I'll have to concede that after the fact.
Well, that was after the fact. They did that because of the movie, but
because of the movie. But I have a little bit better feeling about this movie now. I'm not like super duper psyched, but I will watch it.
Right, and the dog, Crypto. But
oh man, I'm a sucker for dog.
And one thing that kind of makes me that just kind of gets me more into the like, oh, okay, this is probably going to be good. Camp is seeing all of the whiny nerds with no taste on X who crap on the movie. I'm like, all right, so maybe little things I agree. If you talk about the costume being bad, I'm like, okay, fine. But I'm like, other things I'm like are just baseless and just not found. And there's, I don't know, you're grasping at little tiny details to find something wrong with this.
Yeah.
And so that makes me like, it'd give me satisfaction if like other nerds were upset by this movie's success.
Yeah.
So I'm like, that would make me feel good. That's the only thing that brings joy to my heart now. It's seeing other nerds.
A little black heart. That's let's move on to the next topic, which is the Daredevil Born Again trailer. I am more psyched for this than I am the Superman trailer, just because I'm down for Daredevil any day of the week. But I'm more happy now that they brought back Foggy and Karen.
Yeah.
Yes.
As you will see in this trailer. But let's go ahead and just show off the trailer real quick. Blow your ear out.
Right now I'm blind and deaf.
Well, I'm glad they're friends now. So, fun fact, I never saw the last season of Daredevil, so I'm rewatching all of them now to get ready for this.
I'm very fuzzy on
the first season's so good.
Oh, yeah. The first season was so good. That's why there was other Netflix shows. And I don't think any other Netflix series even Daredevil season 2 through 3, I don't think any other Netflix season or show matched the quality of Daredevil season 1.
No,
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they would have existed if it wasn't for season 1.
I also
Yeah,
don't think that the actual. I just checked the boys. I don't think the audio is showing for the.
No, the audio doesn't show for. I don't hear the audio in this.
Hold on, let me look at the share tab right quick.
We usually never do. We usually
No,
never
you can
hear
you
it.
can. It's just this time I think I forgot to share audio. Hold on one second.
For these, definitely, tonight. I
Let me
definitely haven't been able to
go
hear
ahead
it.
and present. Share screen. The audio is on. Let's try this window.
It's a live stream.
It's a live stream and live stuff happens. Okay, let's see if y'all can hear it now. Can you hear it now?
No,
What is the deal?
cannot.
No.
It shows that it's playing on the stream.
Well, I assumed
Hmm?
in the past you watch these.
No. Y'all have.
They hear.
I mean, y'all have said that y'all have been able to hear. That's why I'm kind of wondering
Maybe
what's.
in the
Morbius.
past, but Morbius. It's
It does
Morbid
look like
time.
Morbius. I'm
in
curious what's
Daredevil.
happening here. Well, let's just go ahead and keep playing it. Not that one. This one.
The Marvel cease and desist. That's how they do it.
I know they could. Yeah.
Yeah.
They get you.
Ooh.
Well, this is like how it would be like if we were Daredevil watching it.
Except no, you'd be Echo, not Daredevil.
Oh yeah, it would be Echo. Never mind.
I'm
Yeah.
I'm unsure as to what's happening here
It looks
because
good.
it could be
I
the
mean,
it could be the new audio setup we have going. Sorry, folks. What I'll do is we'll just skip trailers for the rest of this because I had one more trailer, but since you can't hear it, there's no point in showing it.
What
Anyways,
if they can't hear it?
They can't because I just tested it on the old phone and I can't see anything. This is what happens when you do stuff live, folks.
Okay.
Yeah, they can't hear anything. Hold on, let me just try one more time. Yeah, that's right.
Well, it looks
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, it does
More
look
than
good.
Jeremy could say.
yeah.
I think that it is. I do like the fact that they're bringing in the Muse. He is right.
So when I first saw the Muse, I thought that was White Tiger, and I'm like,
White Tiger
wait.
is in this though, but I think
And that's
he's
what made it confusing.
Yeah, because their costumes are kind of similar. Let me see if I can find it. Scrubbing through. I believe that's that the Muse. Let's see.
No, there's a lot of,
See,
understandable doubt.
that was Bullseye that we just saw right there. Right?
I guess so.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was Bullseye. I'm just gonna let this play in the background. So I'll
Unless
see.
The guy in
He's-
the red hood is the Red Hood.
Yeah,
Everybody knows that.
obviously. So there's a lot of understandable hesitation when it comes to this simply because it's Disney Plus. But I'm just kind of happy Daredevil didn't just die, I'm glad, like, hey, you know what?
Yeah.
Maybe it's not as good as Daredevil season 1, but the fact that it exists, and there's potential of Charlie Cox as Matt Murdock appearing in other Marvel things, like in the new Avengers
Yeah.
films coming up.
Hopefully,
like, there's at least
Secret
there's a
Wars.
chance that you could get a Daredevil appearance. That would just be fun.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
am happy that the Muse is in here. I am happy that Frank Castle's back.
I don't like his hair,
Really?
but I don't like John
Yeah.
Bernthal's hair for the Punisher. But that's just
It's always the hair with you guys. It's always
neither
the hair.
here
Mhm.
nor there.
Nor
is
there.
the hair.
But
But you know what? He's back as the Punisher, and I'm like, I like him. I just hope that you get something more interesting, because man, the Punisher Netflix series, you can say a lot about them, but they were just so boring to me. Oh my gosh, they were just so terribly boring. So I'm happy he's here, and hopefully has a chance to do something more exciting, like get a haircut. That's what I would like to say.
Get a haircut. Yeah.
get a haircut, boy. Let's see. Hold on. Let me try something right here, right quick. Let's see. There's my audio. Okay. Can y'all hear me? Y'all can hear me now, right?
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
I switched off of the voice mod, and let's see if you can hear this now. It could be this. Let's try this. Okay, so I'm sharing audio. Let's stop sharing, and then present,
Okay.
then share screen with to share media. Share a tab or screen instead. Oh, that is why it's not working. Okay, I have figured it out. Sorry, my bad, folks. Here, hold on. First close
It's
this.
okay. We're only 46 minutes in, so
We're just, give us time.
Here we go. This is why. Let me hide the toolbar here. Y'all talk amongst yourselves. Give me 1 second.
all right. So,
Well,
how are things?
so I actually have not read the full Born Again comic series, which is like such a sacrilegious nerd thing to say. But
Wait, there's a comic book of this?
that's what I'm told. I'm gonna investigate it. I'm gonna see what I can, scrounge around.
You're talking about the Born Again comic?
Yeah. Like I've actually not read it, but I'm getting through my, I'll say this: when Frank Miller is good, he's great. When he's not that great, it is just best not to talk about.
Well, I always think that his dialogue is like, it reminds me a little too much of Stephen King.
Well, I will say, so I don't know. This is maybe skipping ahead. I don't know, but we're on the subject of Frank Miller in general. But it's funny. I was telling Bodz this the other night when I started reading my big omnibus thing of Batman Year One. They had the issues before Year One, right? And it's like fun Joker caper. Oh, there's Magpie. What's she gonna do? And then, boom, very serious Frank Miller Year One story. Where it's like, oh my gosh. It's like, okay, did not expect that, but that's fine. And I'm like, and I'm reading, I'm like, yeah, of course, this is good. It is. I'm like, hey, I have been very vocal about how I'm not the biggest fan of The Dark Knight Returns or whatever, but I will say, like, when I read this, I'm like, okay, there's a reason this is, highly revered amongst fans. So I'm like, yeah, of course, this. And I'm like, yeah, and obviously its influence is seen in so many things, namely the Batman movie, the 2022 movie, because Catwoman alone, just you can tell the director and writers are just in the costume designers, like just basically try to make it look like this, except for the Catwoman costume itself. They're like, you don't have to make it look like that. She looks more like a mouse to me.
Yeah, she does look like a mouse. Okay, boys.
Yeah.
Let me see now if y'all can hear this. Okay, so we're gonna present. Share screen. Share this, and I'm going to make sure it doesn't blow your eardrums out. What about that?
Oh, I hear it.
Find the time.
Yeah. This is the live and the live streaming, people.
Entirely unpleasant seeing you again. A lot of time has passed. By the look of it,
Oh
come
yeah.
up in the world. I could say the same.
Oh,
Give me some
that's
Foggy and
sad.
Karen before she
Mayor
became a whore and
Serves his
Yeah.
died of AIDS, but not really
I
of
can see
AIDS.
you're not entirely convinced.
She was killed by Bullseye.
Can you blame me?
So was Fisk not shot in the face or what?
Okay, what the hell? Yeah. I was gonna say he looks pretty good for having to get shot in the face and then going blind at the time. Yeah,
Like,
that a lot of questions.
I mean, the system.
It's like they were like, you know what? Echo was stupid. We don't have to.
Yeah, but I mean, we all watched.
We don't have
There's
to act
no
like that
role.
ever happened.
yeah.
Why did you
Like-
stop being a
Yeah,
vigilante?
I had it.
The line was crossed. It's hard to come to terms with a violent nature.
Is the line crossed banging She-Hulk? It's my wife. He's like, I would say
yes. I would say yes.
Hating the power it has over us.
Okay, Bullseye. I don't know who these guys are.
Sometimes peace needs to be broken.
Now, at the top of the stairs, it looked like somebody had a hatchet. I'm trying to figure out who that was.
Hatchet Man.
Hatchet Man, you know, the lesser known.
Must reign.
There was the Muse. And the Muse, we were at one point we were gonna read that on the show. We still will. We got to get there, but I know that it was the Charles Soule. It was the Charles Soule run, and I still haven't read I just read the first part of that, and there's a new character that they have in there. I believe his name's like, I don't want to say it's like Blindside or something like that. I think the kid can turn invisible or something. But it's a Ron Garney. It's drawn by Ron Garney and it's written by Charles Soule. And the first part was pretty good so far. But I'm looking forward to the Muse being in here.
Mind putting the hatchet down?
Oh, okay, that's the hatchet.
Okay, what's his...
I was wondering who the hatchet guy was. Okay,
that explains that.
I was raised to believe in grace.
Okay, there's White Tiger.
And the son of Tony Soprano himself made a quick appearance. Blink and you miss him.
Where?
He's there.
No way.
That's Michael Gandolfini.
D'Onofrio's actual son, right?
No, Michael Gandolfini. James Gandolfini's son. Tony.
Okay, that's
Soprano.
what I'm saying. Yeah.
Grace.
What did I say? I'm sorry.
He said basically Kingpin's son.
Sorry, not James Gandolfini. I was saying D'Onofrio. It's James Gandolfini.
And I think he has the makings of a varsity athlete right there. I would say.
All I could say though is if he was on that new, what was it that isn't there a prequel of The Sopranos? He could
yes, the
father.
Many Saints of Newark, which is this is so off topic, but my wife and I, we decided to watch The Sopranos. We were like a couple episodes in. We decided, hey, let's just watch the prequel movie. Let's choose to watch it, even though we knew it came out years later. And we were like, okay, that was interesting. And now after having completed, and by the way, opening of The Many Saints of Newark, huge spoiler. If you have not seen all of The Sopranos, didn't quite realize that until later. But anyway. And then after having completed watching The Sopranos, I look back and I'm like, I don't know, the movie kind of didn't have the same feel about it. But his performance was good, because and it's cool to see him here. I don't know if he's being another gangster person.
Yeah, I don't know who he is. We'll see. Oh God!
So raised.
Oh.
To believe in retribution.
That's the Muse getting his ass beat. Ow! It looks like they're going for the more R-rated version of the show instead of the She-Hulkification of the.
Yeah,
because they were trying to go back to the swashbuckling stuff with the She-Hulk, and it just did not land. And I don't blame
not
them
for that. No, and
immediate about face.
When you open up Disney Plus now, I think I would imagine it. Depending on if you have like a kids account or like a regular account, it would make a difference. But right now, we're watching a Disney movie with our 5-year-old son, and like I'm opening it up, I'm like, it has all these Hulu things. Like, do you want to watch Alien Romulus? I'm like, not now.
Not particularly, not right at this very moment.
No, we're trying to watch freaking Cinderella or some crap. You know what I mean? So it's like, so now I'm like, because there's such a heavy Hulu influence now and other films like that, it's to me, every time I look at Disney Plus now, it's like, hey, we're like a normal person streaming service. You don't have to worry about it being Disney. because we own everything. And so I'm like, well, there might have been a time where Daredevil would have been, I will say, not that it's a bad thing, but I think Daredevil's violence level would have been on the same. It is fitting because of the Echo connection, but it would have been a Hawkeye level, which isn't necessarily bad,
Yeah.
but not what you really expect from Daredevil.
Yeah.
So there could. So yeah.
Sorry for the awkward silence there.
You're just waiting on the president to call.
I was
us
just
back.
waiting on the president for calls. Okay. So yeah, I'm definitely more excited for this. I'm cautiously optimistic. I know that Disney likes to fuck stuff up. That's why I'm cautiously optimistic. I do know that the show, I think is the director, is the same guy who did the Punisher, the Netflix Punisher, which really gives me a lot of pause because that was just dreadful. All of the Punisher Netflix series was flipping dreadful. The only good part of it was Daredevil season 2, and that is it. If you watch that, do not watch the Netflix series. It is awful. It's boring. It's terrible. Don't watch it. It's trash.
Tough to stay awake through.
Yeah, it is hard to watch. But I don't know. I don't know about you, Bodz. What do you think? You ready? Bodz doesn't want to talk.
He's speechless.
He's speechless. Okay, that means he's
well. He's trying to be mute, like Daredevil himself.
He's the opposite of Daredevil.
Oh, wait a minute. That's not Daredevil's thing. Keep on forgetting.
All right.
Which of the 5 senses?
You might want to relog, Bodz. Okay, let's move on to the next one. This is the Doom: The Dark Ages trailer, aka Captain America from Hell.
And Doom is still dooming after all these
Dooming
years.
is dooming it up. No, H might not know any of this because he doesn't play a lot of games, but Doom is back in the prequel. This is the Doomslayer, I guess, before all the events of Doom Eternal, and also Doom 2000. I want to say it was 2016. And they've changed up glory kills. They've given you more melee weapons. You get to fly a dragon who has a Gatling gun on it. You get to get in a mech suit and tear up the what are they called? The gargantuan demons or whatever. The I don't know what they actually call. I can't remember what they call these in the actual game. It is coming out May 15th, and I am flipping stoked for this game. I'm going to be live streaming this for sure, for certain. I just wanted to bring it up. It's going to be out May 15th, which is before QuakeCon, which is even better because that means when I get to QuakeCon, they're going to be playing the crap out of this game there. So expect a playthrough from me. Hopefully Bodz will be there, but yeah, we want to do some more like more consistent live streams on games because me and Bodz have a little bit of a hoot with those things. So Bodz, you back? Can you hear us? Can you talk to us?
You can't. So.
I don't think
so.
you can.
Let me ask you. I don't know a lot about these games, but are you playing as The Rock? At what point are you playing as Dwayne Johnson?
He is about as ripped as The Rock. Yeah, no, you're playing as the Doom Slayer. They used to call him. We used to call him Doom Guy.
Yeah, he's just the Doom guy.
But now he's the Doom Slayer. Officially, the Doom Slayer. He's like he is, as far as I know, he was found by the Night Sentinels, and he was like kind of a psychopath, and he trained up, and then he went on to take on the forces of Hell, and he's like the only thing that Hell fears is the Doom Slayer, and he's sent by I don't know if he's sent by in the new lore. I think he's sent by somebody who's above like the god of that universe, which turns out to just be a devilish looking version of himself. And it's quite the thrill ride. I played it twice, and it's a blast. So I'm super excited for Doom: The Dark Ages. A prequel of that. It was just more Doom. I'm all for it. Super fun, super awesome,
man.
So,
and the most I know about Doom is that people challenge themselves to run Doom on the most unexpected of platforms.
Oh yeah, they put it on like a calculator or somebody. The other day I saw somebody was running it on something crazy. It was like a brain cell or something. I can't remember. Just really crazy stuff.
Just a
Yeah, they had like a
human
brain cell or something. I can't remember what it was. It's something really crazy.
like an
But
actual like human brain cell, like a biological.
like a biological brain cell, if I remember right. I think they tried to run it on like a PDF file, and I don't mean PDF file,
A PDF
an
file. We
actual
know.
PDF portable
We know what
document
watch
format
list.
file. Yeah, not the ones that are put on the registry. The ones that you send documents to people with. Actual PDF file.
I think I saw that where somebody was just like, yeah, it's just, and I'm like, was Doom just that? Is it Doom specifically, or is this any? You could grab any type of game made in that era, and you could probably.
Well, I think it's just specifically Doom. I guess it's like ultra optimized now, and you can pretty much. It just kind of shows us that the hardware that was running at the time really wasn't that powerful, but it costs a lot of money. And at the time, we were like, "Oh my god, graphics are so awesome!" And people just take the challenge now, and they're like, "I can run it on a potato." It's just
like
whatever.
how you would even begin to convert that? I have no idea.
I have no idea. That's smarter
Not that kind of
people
nerd.
than me. Autists out there that are really bored. But yeah,
Yes.
in the Dark Ages, May 15th. I'm gonna try to be. I'm gonna try to do a live stream with Bodz if he's available. Bodz, I still can't hear you. I don't know what's going on.
Bodz,
I can see you.
blink-
Nothing's happening.
Blink
Let me
once.
just remove you from the stage and then re-add you. Let's see if that helps. Nope, still nothing coming through.
Well,
Bodz might need to switch to a cellular network, like he was saying earlier. But we'll keep going.
Bodz likes to live off the grid.
Yeah, he does.
He likes to live at a place close to Ruby Ridge, I think is the name of it. I don't.
Yeah. Oh God. Make sure you keep your kids indoors, Bodz.
Indoors.
Indoors.
Don't let the animals out. That's what I can tell you.
No joke. You're lucky you don't have any dogs. Yeah, Bodz. He's always talking about how he got a good deal from a guy in a parking lot. That kind of thing.
Which is so accurate and on brand, actually.
The next topic we were going to talk about, and this is why it's sad that Bod's not here. We might, since Bodz is not able to talk right now, we'll probably skip this because it's kind of it's what he asked to talk about this week, and I would like to talk about him too. So if he can't, you might want to try re-logging one more time, Bodz. We might come back to this, but we're already running a little bit late. So let's move on to the trivia portion.
Yes. Okay. So yes, I have prepared something. It's not too long. It's just it's a fun, quick piece of trivia that I think will enjoy, and whoever happens to be listening or watching this, they may enjoy this too. So, are we ready for the mind-blowing trivia? We have ready.
I'm ready for it. What are we gonna start calling this trivia? We didn't ever come up with a name for this.
You know what? We didn't. Let's see. We'll workshop that, but it's something probably really interesting and clever.
It's got to have something to do with No Age, because this is kind of your job now to come up with trivia. It's got to be like it's got to have like riddles with
riddles.
I don't know, or No Age the Riddler. I don't know. We're gonna have to come up with something. But anyways, go ahead. You have the floor. No Age, go ahead.
Okay, so like I said, it's very quick, but it's going to be interesting and fun, and you can repeat it at parties that you don't go to. Let's see. Soon to be played by Jason Momoa, the DC Comics character Lobo is best known as the Wolverine knockoff, space-faring bounty hunter, and the last Zarnian. Is that how you say that?
Yeah,
I've never heard it.
That's our
However, when Lobo originally appeared in the Omega Men #3 in 1983, Lobo was a purple-haired bounty hunter and the last of his species, a Valorpian. That's right, he wasn't always a Zarnian. When he originally,
Valorpian.
A Valorpian. Valorpian. It's VELORPIAN. So if you look at you research Lobo first appearance, it'll direct you to the Omega Men
Okay, I gotta look
3.
this up. Let's see.
And the Omega Man itself is a trippy comic book. Apparently, it's a spin-off of I want to say the Legion of Superheroes, maybe, or maybe Teen Titans. early 80s, 83. And it's very, very cosmic comic book.
Oh, he did have purple hair.
And he has like this funky get up going on. And I mean, the face still looks like Lobo,
Hold on.
but he's like he looks like just
Yeah, his face is
random.
very similar. Let's see, Lobo. This is like I should probably get with you before we actually have the show. So that
Well, you know what? I was thinking about it after. I'm like, man, we said we'd do this tonight, and for some reason, my brain just like didn't want to remember things. So,
okay, here we go. I got
like,
him. Here we go. Show this type of said. Okay, so here is the original costume of it's very
yeah, and I should start feeding you these things before because I went in thinking, oh, maybe it'll be like they don't want to know, the surprise. But I'm thinking for images and stuff, it's probably best if you knew before, like so how to cue things, so when to cue things up.
Next time we'll be prepared. You gotta remember, guys, we haven't done this for close to, I don't know when we did episode 26.
It was a while, and
it was a minute.
We were always touch and go before. So, but that's one of the reasons why we're wanting to sort of, mold this thing into something more refined, because we think it's worth doing that.
Exactly.
So, but as you see the Omega Man trippy comic book by itself, and you see Lobo, if you were to see him then, and you compare him to what he mostly looks like now, there's that weird New 52 area where it was just like he looked like he worked at like Hot Topic for a while, and it was just
yeah. Oh, now his daughter's taking over as far as I know.
Crush is from former Teen Titan herself. So when you look at Lobo, then it's like he had a distinct enough look to where, like, okay, having all these weirdos in this comic, he still looks the coolest, but he still has a flamboyant kind of get up,
Well, he's giving off like a Kiss vibe to me.
Yes,
just a little bit.
Considering it was in '83, I'm like, this is disco's influence is still around. It's still glam is still kind of being a thing, and so I'm like, yeah, this looks like Lobo would frequent a discotheque. You know what I mean? It's and it's interesting to think that he kind of was just kind of around for a while, and he kind of did. It wasn't until like few years later somebody decided to do something with him and then kind of turn him into the proper Wolverine knockoff. And it's funny, since
the main man,
and since then the Wolverine knockoff parody has been parodied himself, and it's just become an inception of spoofs over the years.
Now I have oh no, you're not gonna believe this. You're not gonna flip and believe this. Okay, so I recently bought the Lobo Compendium. Well, the first book in there is Omega Man #1.
Oh, really?
So I will have to. I have a ton of reading material on my shelf. So as you know, I have to get through a lot of this. But now you've piqued my interest here. I'm actually going to go through here and actually read this comic to see for myself.
Omega Man, this is like a fun, weird little comic that. I don't know if it'll make a lick of sense, but it just visually it looks interesting, and it reminded me of like the 70s Marvel Star Wars comics.
There's quite a few naked women in this still. Like, I'm not gonna lie.
They were like, that's the thing. I'm like, I'm not sure who this is directed toward. Like, it's a lot of the McGuire Giffen,
Keith Giffen, yeah.
Yes. I was getting my people mixed up, but there's a lot of like major league talent there.
Dude, I'm a low-key fan of freaking Keith Giffen. I have to say that his artwork is what sold me on Lobo back in the day. Whenever he started doing the later he moved on to Image and he started doing the Trencher, I was obsessed with the Trencher. I love his art style. He had his own little style, and he used it in the Lobo comics, and you really didn't see it until he moved back over to Image, and then he started doing it. So I'm totally stoked to read this compendium. I would rather it have been a freaking omnibus, but these days you get what you get from DC.
Yeah.
So yeah, oh sweet, I love this. This is cool. We really talked about this before we started doing this, guys. So this is one of the things we want to do. We had the trivia section. We have, and I don't want to spoil what it is. It's coming later in this video, but yeah, we really wanted to do stuff like this, and I hope that you enjoyed it as well. All right, so let's move on to the main topic of conversation. Bodz, are you? Maybe can we hear you?
I'm here.
Oh
you
my
hear
God,
me?
we can hear him.
Man,
I
So
can't
I've just
believe
been
it.
quiet this whole time for no reason.
For no reason. You could have said something. I heard something.
I went
breathing.
It's
closer
crying.
to
I heard a
the
little bit
router.
of.
I went close to the router and it made it worse somehow. And then I had to come
Oh,
back
really?
down here.
Because I can
Just
hear you.
off
You're
Wi-Fi.
crystal clear now, so that's good.
Yeah, you're fine now.
I'm just off Wi-Fi. Don't know.
Just off Wi-Fi.
And
Okay,
I'm not
well,
using the microwave right now.
Oh, dude,
So,
I have a pair of.
I
I
don't
have a
know if that does
Bluetooth
anything.
headset. Every time I go towards the microwave, it goes. It starts going crazy and garbly. So that could be a thing. But Omega Man, first appearance of Lobo. Everybody, I'm gonna check it out. Maybe you should too. All right, so let's move on to the next topic, which is the Batman Year One discussion. Okay, so we decided that we're going to try to stay more comics focused in the channel. We will talk about video games occasionally, and movies, but mainly we're going to try to focus in on comics. And the first set that we decided, the first story that we decided on, because it's the first of the year, I was thinking Batman Year One. I also did think of New 52, but that would have been a hell of an ask because there's a lot of New 52.
Yep. A lot.
52
Yeah.
comics, 52 number ones to be completely straight with you. But Batman Year One, it's a quick read, but it's kind of cool because it's one of those books that was written in a time whenever Frank Miller seemed to be like rewriting the characters for the better, kind of left and right.
Mm-hmm.
So let's go ahead and share that tab. Okay, and Bodz wanted to talk about this, so this is the actual first tab I'm bringing up.
Actually, the next page is the one I want.
It's the next page. Okay.
Yeah,
It's really
the first page of the actual comic.
This one,
the very first page.
the very first page.
There we go. Very
I thought
first thing right there on top. January
Yep.
4th.
Oh,
Day Batman.
oh,
First
okay.
Batman. My birthday.
January 4th. Not
love
like
it.
the September 11th one they had in like the part 4 of this, but the
Yeah,
January 4th. The January 4th, where Batman's climbing up a building is really weird. But
Is that an age
Too
very
soon?
too soon, soon. I don't know.
Yeah.
But January 4th.
I remember when I first read. I only had one issue of this book back in the day, and I remember I was living. We were living in a smaller town. We had just moved away from Bodz, and I remember reading the first issue of this, being so bummed that I didn't have the rest of it because the idea of the genesis of the Batman story really appealed to me. So I'm stoked to have I've read this 2 or 3 times since then. It's still a great comic. It kind of there's parts of it that give me vibes of like the Christopher Nolan movie and stuff that he he kind of stole from this.
Well, and even the Batman, the 2022 one we were just talking about, where he just talks and he's all like January 4th, and he's like a detective.
Yeah.
He's doing
The Robert Pattinson one. I don't know. I've seen that movie one time.
Yeah, no, he does like the dates and stuff, and his little detective's log and stuff like that. So I thought that was
very
cool, 'cause it
much
reminded me of this.
influenced from this book, and like I said, it's good. I mean, there's a reason people love it. It's really well done. I think I don't know. You see, I don't know if it was potentially cocaine, Frank Miller. I don't know. That's pure speculation on my part, but maybe I don't know, because like it was just like this and like the Daredevil Born Again. It was just like all of these things that continue on even today.
Well,
Like,
I was under the impression when I was younger that this is the this was the Elseworlds genesis of Dark Knight Returns. But
Yeah,
that's not
I
the
always but I kind of thought the same thing too. Like that was that universe and stuff. Because,
yeah, because
he's going to end up being that Batman, but it doesn't.
Yeah,
have
that
to be
Batman.
this.
I was totally convinced of that. But whenever you let me first see if I can get the let's bring up. So in the introduction by Denny O'Neil, In the introduction by Denny O'Neil. Oh, for flip's sake. Let's just go back, I guess.
Oh, well, first of all, I do like the police blotter written by Slam Bradley. I appreciate that.
That's cool.
Oh yeah. Did you see that where it's all like Vicky Vale is like a kleptomaniac?
Yes, I was reading that today.
I was like, what? They're all, yeah, she just flashed her little baby blues at me and I let her go. So in here,
like the Winona Ryder of
yes,
Gotham City.
Oh yeah, no joke. In here it said, I'll try to read some of it. It said in 1986, the editorial board of DC Comics decided that their heroes, some of whom were nearly a half century old, had become dated. A massive revamping was clearly in order, and the place to begin was with the company's three most popular and enduring characters: Superman, Wonder Woman, and Batman. The writers and artists assigned to the task had quick and clear ideas about how to update Superman and Wonder Woman, but Batman was a problem. He just was. The origin of the Bob Kane and Bill Finger had created in 1939 was perfect. Was a perfect explanation to how the Batman came to be. Why he continued to be his obsessive. Why he continued his obsessive crusade, and perhaps was important. It mirrored the fears, frustrations, and hopes of the readership coping with the realities of the 20th century urban life. And I think that's pretty awesome that they were like, what do we do?
Yeah.
Boy, you're sitting there and they're like, Superman, Wonder Woman we could really do, but what do you do with Batman? And I would think the same thing too, because so Absolute Batman came out. I've read a little bit of the first issue. I haven't read the whole thing. Bodz said he's read the whole thing. Scott Snyder, reimagining the character.
Brothers.
Yeah, reimagining the character to be like an engineer and all that stuff too. That's brave, because not even Denny O'Neil and all these guys were like, "Oh no."
No, they kept
I don't know
pretty
what
much
to do.
the same.
Yeah.
But modernized it. That's all they did. That Absolute Batman is just off the wall. Like that's a brave.
I will
I don't
say,
know another way to put it.
I will say it looks like Absolute Batman looks like they're just going for it. They're like, whatever, who cares? Let's just go crazy on this one, because it's basically an Elseworlds title, and why not swing for the fences on this one? It really looks like, let's take the elements of the Dark Knight Returns that we like and just turn it into this.
It's kind of funny because Noah and I were talking the other day that, like, Absolute Power just came out, and then Absolute these things, and we thought, well, this has to have something to do with it. It doesn't. Absolute Power then goes into All In.
Oh yeah. I was confused about that myself.
Super confusing. It's like,
it's been really weird this whole launch.
Yeah.
Well, that's a classic DC thing over of like, just confusing fans, like Rebirth, but it's not a remake. It's technically a continuation of the same universe, but we're just calling it Rebirth. I'm like, why would you call it Rebirth? Everyone's going to think it's a rebirth. Like, how? Why would you do this? But
why would you do this?
But year one, in this case, especially, I don't know how many year ones were happening around this time. Like you said, like people, they had the Wonder Woman thing, you had the Superman deals, but I'm like, other than that, I guess people would retcon stuff. I guess because they've been doing that since comics immemorial. But yeah,
what year did year one come out?
Wasn't 86? Something.
I want to say you're probably correct on that. I was a very young lad when it was conceived.
Wasn't 86 when Dark Knight Returns come out? It came out that year also?
But I'm not,
actually, no, it would have had to have come out later, because Bodz is right about that. Let me go to the back and see what it says. Because the back will tell us. Okay, so in 1986, writer Frank Miller joined David Mazzucchelli and colorist. Okay, so yeah, that's when they really did. So this was 86. So hell, then Dark Knight Returns must have been early 80s.
I thought it was 86, but maybe I'm thinking of this one. I'm just wondering why Frank Miller didn't do the art in this himself.
Okay.
So I thought maybe this came out later.
Well, at that time, he was good.
Yeah, that's
Back
what I'm
in
saying.
his younger prime, he was good.
Though I really do like the art in this.
Yeah, the art. It really has sort of like the original like OG art style, but like
kind of year one.
I am a huge fan of David Mazzucchelli. I think that he has this like understated tone to his work that is like it's clean, it gets the point across. It isn't so flashy that it would make you like. It's not like 90s loud, you know. This was been like what 6 years or 5 years after 5 years before the loud 90s occurs, and we got you know the X-Men come out. Actually, I think it was before that. The X-Men was like it was like 90
early 90s.
So you had X-Men, X-Force, X Factor. So you had your Rob Liefeld, Jim Lee, Todd McFarlane, and I think people leave out. I want to say a lot of people leave out Joe Quesada, but he did really come at the end when everybody was leaving. But yeah, everybody it was just loud and crazy and like bombastic. Yeah. And this is like very I wouldn't say it's utilitarian. It's really good at telling the story that it wants to tell.
Yeah. I mean, it definitely sets a style and a tone, and
I really did like New Frontier. Was it Darwin Cook?
That was Darwin Cook.
Yeah,
it kind of reminds me of that. Where
it does kind of remind me of Darwin Cook, but Darwin Cook was like so like he was kind of like a mixture. I always thought his artwork felt a little bit like the animated series, where this is like a more realistic version in that same vein. You know,
like less cartoony, but still just kind of basic.
I almost think that it looks like it's just like understated realism. David Mazzucchelli also did Daredevil Born Again. We were just talking about that.
Oh, okay.
And in Daredevil Born Again, I'd say his art looks a little bit better because the lines are a bit thinner and cleaner. In here, everything's a little bit like real truncated and chunky. That could be because this has been restored, because the original artwork, it actually shows you if you actually go through this book and look at the very end, you could see where they did like color reprints. Let me go to the very, very end. They actually show what I think it is. Yeah, it's like here. Yeah, you can see how like this is really like fate. I actually remember it looking a lot like this. They went in and they actually cleaned up a lot of the artwork, and then they redid the colors for this book. So
this wasn't black and white when it came out, was it?
No, it was not black and white. It was color, but as you can see, it's like it's really you can see it was done on old newsprint. It looked, it was very like it had the 3-color like, almost like halftone printing. So it was very comics of that time, but I'm glad they came and redid it. Some of the colors are a little pastel-y at times for my taste this time around, but still it does look a bit cleaner. But as a result, sometimes I think that the line work gets a lot thicker. And I don't know.
For this, it kind of, and that may have just been his style at the time, could have been a creative choice. I have a feeling that's just how he was drawing at the time. But either way, it ends up with a very distinct style, and it makes it really feel like because at the beginning, Gordon's like, this place sucks, I hate it here, basically. And it's like a way to make it look ugly, but not ugly at the same time. Maybe more like an uncomfortable feeling, like you're supposed to.
It feels dense.
Yes,
it feels really dense. Like if I go to the very beginning of the book where Gordon is actually talking about this, you get like he's in the subway, and it's just packed to the he's on the train. It's like packed to the gills, and he makes comments like, I shouldn't have come, this is the worst way to come here. But then he talks about, it's like, I hope my wife has a good flight, because I don't want to put her on the I don't want to put her through this. And then he skips over and starts to talk about Bruce Wayne. This story is really about 2 characters arcs simultaneous. This is not just Batman year 1. This is Gordon year one as well.
Did y'all watch the animated movie of this?
No, I haven't.
Oh yeah, it's really good.
Oh
It's
yes,
got,
they did do a year one, didn't
yeah.
they? Yes, I have seen that. That's
Bryan-
actually pretty excellent,
Yeah,
if I remember.
Bryan Cranston's the voice of Gordon. I'm like, that's
Oh,
the
good idea.
Gordon I want right there. I
Is
want
he
Bryan
really?
Cranston Gordon. Yeah, he's the
Because that's
voice of
who I
Gordon.
think of Gordon.
And the guy who actually played Gordon on the Gotham TV show is the voice of Batman.
That's
and
funny.
it's really good. Like I was like, they captured it really good in there, and the art style's pretty similar. You know,
Pretty
the best
similar,
you can
yeah.
do
I
for like
remember
a
it being-
cartoon and stuff. But it's
wonder-
really good, and it is a very much like the two characters just they're
It's like a parallel arc, and you
Yeah.
get to see how like
Yeah.
Gordon is kind of like he's in the muck and the trenches,
yeah
and Batman's Bruce Wayne's kind of a wannabe.
yeah
like-
and
Yeah.
it's really much like Gordon, like, you know, coming to this new precinct and like learning, oh man, these guys are corrupt. And I really hoped the Gotham show was gonna like do that and stuff. And they could have probably done that and it'd been
Well,
really good, but
You know,
you
it
know, they
makes
did their own thing.
it makes it really, because you're supposed to understand, we're meant to understand that Gotham is so crappy that Batman would exist. Like somebody would think to become Batman. That's how absolutely warped living in Gotham City is. That it's like a logical conclusion that somebody would end up being a version of Batman eventually. And also, it really highlights the fact that GCPD can and had whatever have led their own titles, because the Gotham City Police Department by themselves are, or at least can be, interesting enough. That's why when they were first announcing these a Gotham City live action show, I'm like, well, I know there have been some really interesting comics, but for live action, it's just another Batman without Batman show. But this is I don't know. I was reading this, I'm like, how many just Gordon-centric stories were there? I'm sure maybe there were.
At the time, I don't know. I wouldn't be able to tell you.
He was always
Because
just
now
in
it's-
the background.
Now it's pretty normal. Like there was that Joker series that says Joker, but it's really about Gordon.
Mhm.
And even some of the art styles and some issues were very similar to this. So it's the influence carries on even to this day. But I was reading this, I'm like, this may have been one of the first, if not the first, basically Gordon show. And I mean, it's really
It
fascinating.
probably was, honestly.
And I mean, I really like I in this story. I like the juxtaposition. Like Gordon has his problems, and Batman has his problems. And Gordon's problems to me just seem like absolutely worse.
Oh yeah,
He's like his wife is pregnant. He has all these cops that are on the take. Commissioner Loeb is like a infantilized dickhead he is so corrupt. He has the Essen character to worry about. It's kind of kind of made me think about. Remember when Homer Simpson had like Kim Basinger? That's what it kind of reminded me when I saw it. And he's like, don't do anything. Go. He's always having that constant struggle of like, I'm putting up with everything. To be honest, Gordon, if Batman wasn't going to become, if Bruce Wayne wasn't going to become Batman, Gordon was going to become Batman at some point. Because he's almost like, to me, he almost has like Peter Parker level problems in this. It is just nonstop. He has to put up with these people wanting to beat him down because he's not on the take. He has to put up, like I said, with the affair, and he's having all these feelings for this woman that's not his wife. And then he's got his baby, and he's got to figure out who the Batman is, because he's constantly being like berated by the commissioner to actually find out who he is and to stop him. But it doesn't happen at first, because at first Commissioner Loeb, before things start to go down, because whenever Batman starts off in this book, he doesn't want a costume. Remember, he shows up and he's basically in the outfit that he has here, and he goes on the streets and he disguises himself with like a scar. And he tries to take on like just low level stuff at first, and he finds out that Gotham is such a upside down place that you can't just be the good guy there. You have to always be on your guard, even with the people that you're saving, because he gets like stabbed and he gets beat up by a bunch of hookers, and it's just like it's pretty horrible for for Bruce Wayne at first. But I still would say of the two, Gordon still has the worst because he's doing it to he's working to live.
Yeah, he's doing it to survive.
Yeah, he's doing it to survive, and Batman's doing it because he is doing it for to a degree revenge, but also I don't know. I almost wouldn't say it was revenge. I would say it's more like to avenge his parents, but to also just to clean up because it's not just his parents are not the only casualty here. It's like it's the city is the casualty because it's just a hellhole now, and nobody wants to live there. Only the dregs want to live there, and he's trying to do his part. And I understand that whole thing.
And one thing I appreciated real quick is that it doesn't take him very long to suspect Bruce Wayne.
Yeah, I know. Gordon is such a good cop in this. He's not like he's not low level like stupid at all. He's like, oh wait, but was it Essen who said it? I don't remember.
I'm not sure. I don't really remember that. But somebody they were just kind of discussing like who would have the means, the resources, and the motive.
Yeah. I think it was actually Essen. I think it was actually Essen who first brings that up because at first, remember he mentions Harvey Dent in this book because Harvey shows up in this book and he doesn't really have the best alibi at first, so he suspects him, but I think it's Essen who brings up, hey, Bruce Wayne has a lot of money and he's conveniently just been in a skiing accident and he's got casts on his arms and legs, and that's exactly where he might have been shot if he was Batman. So the detective work I don't think was all him because Essen was a pretty smart character herself. So you can't give all the credit to Jim Gordon. But
what's funny is that later on, especially during like the No Man's Land era, Gordon would have a wife. Her name was Sarah, and I'm like, I don't remember the last name, but I'm like, it's probably a nod to this.
Because his wife is Barbara in this, and then his daughter because is his daughter that's being born or is it his son? I can't remember.
It's James.
It's James. Yeah.
James Jr. And it's funny. I wonder if in this version he grows up to be like
the serial killer or whatever,
like the psycho.
Yeah. I truly wonder. But yeah, there's quite a cast of like bad guy characters in this, and none of them are supervillains.
It's funny. They
like
Flash. There's Loeb, and there's Brandon.
The SWAT team, the SWAT team guy. Yeah.
Let's go, Brandon.
That's good. Yes.
And his part, that whole thing in the building, that's almost straight
I call complete
Batman
like
Begins.
Frank Miller's idea of like what the police do. They're you know what we do here? We just drop a firebomb on this building and blow it up.
I mean, I guess to be fair enough, it is emphasized how much Brandon does have an overkill mentality. It is brought up.
You're not kidding.
And I'm like, yes, indeed. It's kind of funny. There is in part 4 here. I just brought it up on my computer here, and there is a cameo of a legally distinct Mickey Mouse phone. So there you go.
Yeah, it's what is it, Commissioner Loeb?
Yeah, and
Catwoman also shows up in this. And one of the first cat burglaries she does is Commissioner Loeb's toy collection.
Yeah,
and he gets pretty pissed off about that, and then he sends. I think he wants. At first, I think they try to pin it on Batman. I think at first, and then later, and that really pisses Selena Kyle off. So she wants to have her moment in the spotlight. So she's like, you know what I could do? I could go because Falcone is also working with Commissioner Loeb. It's and then there was I think isn't it the son of Falcone in this book? I can't remember his name. He was in if I remember right, he was also in the
Long Halloween.
That's right. He's very, and it's cool because in here it's very recognizable. It's like Tim Sale was looking at this You go, okay, I've got that character. He has to look a lot like that character from that time
Alberto?
period. Huh?
Was it Alberto?
I think so. But did a very good job because I immediately recognized who the character was. So Falcone's in here, and you in here you get the tail behind the scratch. We all knew Catwoman was the one who scratched his face, but in here she actually does it in real time. Trying to think of who else was a player in this. Flash, Brandon, Loeb, Falcone, and
Just all the characters like Dent
I think
and
that's
other
about
people.
it.
I mean, just in general, or
I mean,
and
Vicky
just-
Vale is mentioned in this. I don't remember seeing her. I think she might have been in the very beginning of the book.
which is it's so funny. So growing up as a kid, I if I read Batman comics, I'm sure I did, but not to the detail where I would have saw the movie and recognized the name Vicky Vale. Like, no, when I watched the movie, I didn't know she appeared in the comics till years later. And it's really, and I just thought, oh, she appears later because of the movie. Like, nope, she was already there. And I'm just now looking back, I'm like, for like hardcore diehard Batman comic book readers, when they see like Vicky Vale's going to be in the movie, they're like, the klepto lady?
yeah. The klepto.
Like,
is here.
what's she doing there?
And this is let's focus in on Batman a little bit in here. So Batman, he comes back. He's around 20 something years of age. He comes back into town. He has his first outing. He begins to realize that part of his problem is when you go out and you look like the criminals, they're going to treat you like one of the criminals.
Yeah.
So he's like, I need something to make them fear me. And you get the really cool scene in this book where the bat, and that's why it made me think of this. That this was the DKR, like the beginning of the DKR Elseworlds Batman, because he has this moment where he's sitting in his study or his library. I'm trying to find this. It's kind of hard to see these little ones. It's after his first. I want to say it's. Oh yeah, here it is. Okay, so he's sitting in his library. He's actually, I think he's like talking to his father, and he has this moment where this gigantic bat crashes through the window, and it lands on top of a bust of his father, and which I thought was weird because like bats always hang upside down, so I don't think that would be hanging from his chin like a nutsack or something. But he's bleeding out because remember at this point, if I remember right, he's been stabbed or shot pretty horribly. So he's bleeding out, and he's saying, I might want to die tonight because I'm pretty terrible at this. So give me a sign.
Yeah.
And that's when the bat flies in and lands.
And
so
rings the bell for
he rings the bell for Alfred to come in and
Alfred,
actually
Alfred.
save his life. As that was one of the cool. I thought that was one of the cooler moments of the book, and that's what made me think this had anything to do with the DKR. And then he goes out as Batman, and he still has problems, and I love that because it makes me go, yeah, because that's what would happen. You would go out and get your ass handed to you because you're a guy in a costume still. People would be like, oh shit, like, oh my god, what is that? But they would you would still have those people that are just going to like they're going to go into like either fight or flight mode, and in this book it seems like the people that he encounters, most of them go into fight mode, and he'll get stabbed and shot like right away.
Yeah.
There's this one scene where he's fighting these three guys on a fire escape, and he's making an assessment in his head. He's thinking about like, okay, that guy looks like he's gonna kick me, and so next scene the guy's kicking him in the face, and then he's like, one of the guys falls over the railing, and he's like, oh my god, I don't kill people.
He has to save him.
So he catches him, and then he's
crap out of him.
Yeah, they're still beating the crap out of him, and he's like, I'm like, I like that they show this because this is how it would be. You see Batman in the movies, you see Batman in the comics, you see Batman in the video games, and he's got this fluid, like beating people's ass wholesale, like just like it's nothing. But he had to start somewhere, and I just like that this was very accurate. To like, if you started doing this, people would kick your ass.
Yeah,
people would definitely kick your ass.
And he has very unique methods in his crime fighting. Like I want to say it was in part 3, where he was trapped in that building because the The SWAT
yes.
guys were going
Fireball.
after him.
Yeah.
And like he was able to call upon his bats
Yeah.
to
So
swarm the area.
that was like Batman Begins.
Yeah, Batman Begins. That's why I was thinking it
thing
did
in
take
his
a little bit of
boot.
that because remember it was in here it's in his boot and
I
it's
think
like
it was
a little.
it was in his boot in the movie too.
It was okay. I couldn't remember
I think
because
so. Like
I
the
don't
boot.
know.
I haven't seen that in a while. But I did think that was so cool how he's like he loses his utility belt because he's in a burning building. Well, he has thermite in his in his
Yeah,
utility belt.
catches
It
on fire.
ignites. He's like, oh shit, and he gets rid of the belt because thermite will burn a hole right through you.
Yeah.
And so, and I like that too because that's like him thinking. That's like him not thinking about these things. He's like, I'm probably never going to be in a building that's on
Yeah.
fire and
Yeah.
have to, be killed, be burned to death by my own thermite. And it's just
All he
all
has
these
is,
little funny mistakes that happen. And I really enjoyed that part of
his
about
his
this.
little blowgun from his boot.
Yeah,
You ever
and
see
then
again?
and he had the blowgun with the darts.
Yeah.
But you know what was funny about that scene? He says in there, and let me see if I can find it. It made me laugh when I was reading it because I was like, "What?" And he's under the stairs. He undoes his boot, and then he has the blow dart here, and then he says something like, "Just he's talking about the point." Yeah, because here's the little transmitter or like the little ultrasonic transmitter, and I think it might be the next scene actually. Yeah, he goes, the slightest dose of anaconda on the dart, enough to put the man to sleep. And I'm like, anacondas are constrictors, bro. They don't have any venom.
Yeah,
so
that's
the dart gave
that
him
was
a crushing hug. I don't know. It just was weird.
Well, it's just the slightest dose of it. So
The slightest dose of
the
anaconda.
slightest dose, and I choose to believe. I choose to believe anaconda is just it's just another word for some other street poison.
Yeah. Some other.
thing.
It's like this is what is it? A foghorn leghorn, and all the weird names for ecstasy.
It's like, yeah, you want some anaconda, baby? I got you.
Yeah, I got you anaconda right here, baby. Yeah. So yeah, I thought that was a funny part. I thought the book moves at a pretty fast pace. There's only like a few scenes. There's like Gordon gets his ass kicked. Gordon has his fights with Loeb and Flass, and then he gets his revenge on Flass where like he beats the holy shit out of him and leaves him naked in the naked in the snow to like basically he teaches him a lesson. Then you have what's next? So he beats up Flask, and then Batman has his first couple of encounters. He gets his ass kicked twice, and then he ends up in he takes on Falcone, and Falcone is the reason why what gets everything going, because as soon as what was funny is Batman shows up, beats the shit out of Falcone, and then leaves him naked in his own house to be found by his men.
Revealed. Then Bruce Wayne's weird kink is revealed. He's leaving people naked.
He's like, well, he's a copycat because I think Gordon did it first. He's probably watching Gordon to take out Flass, and he's like, you know what? That's a pretty good idea.
That's a good
strip him
idea.
naked.
Just leave him naked. That sounds awesome. And then it moves on to the big scene where Batman is in this hiding in the building, and he's trying to I can't remember exactly why he ended up in this building. I think he was making his way away from the scene of something, and then he ended up in this like derelict building, and then they drop a firebomb on it, explodes, and then he has the whole SWAT.
And that whole sequence, that whole issue is pretty much just him trying to get out of that building.
Yeah, trying not to die, basically. Yeah.
And it reminded me of Bodz had mentioned that y'all had been watching True Detective season 1. It reminded me of that one episode that was essentially that big chase scene and an action scene, and just
where it was all just one shot where they're going into the gang.
Yeah, it was the big oneer, and they were basically just going after the gang. It's just this big raid, and it reminded me of that. Like that's pretty much what this issue was. Like, as if you didn't get enough action in the first two parts, third part
3
is
and 4 just kick it up a notch.
Yeah, for sure.
It's definitely, what I gotta say is what's funny about these books is like if you read like a modern comic these days, it is a snooze fest. A lot of the stuff you read is about 2 encounters and you're just like, oh, I'm so bored and nothing happened. So I really appreciated how like this was chocked full of stuff happening, and it doesn't mess around. It kind of reminds me of like whenever you watch a British show, it's only got 6 episodes, and you're like, oh man, it's only got 6 episodes, but like a lot of stuff happens.
Yeah, they get to the point.
Unlike Grimm, where you watch 24 episodes and nothing happens to the last 2, that's what this reminded me of. It's like more of a
this is
British feel.
Yeah. And of course, I mean, the formula is there for a reason, just to squeeze every last dollar out of it, right? But this is one of those comic books where it's like, okay, this was treated as actual real art.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, this is like a big art piece. Not necessarily it's like a serialized story, but there was a lot of attention to detail. That there's a lot of like really expert crafting going on here.
On the art side, on the writing side, some of the dialogue, I'll have to say, some of the dialogue I could have, like, again, that's my one critique of Frank Miller. It reads a lot like Stephen King dialogue, and I hate Stephen King's dialogue. That's like, if you ever watched the movie Sin City, and you're like, man, people talk weird in this movie. That is Frank Miller right there.
Yeah.
Whenever, for example, whenever the Batman goes out for the first night and he meets the pimp, and he's like, he's trying to goad the pimp into a fight, and the pimp's talking to the little girl, or actually not like a little girl. She's probably of legal age. We're just gonna say she is. He keeps calling her Sweet Chunks. Sweet Chunks. I was so like freaking disgusted by that. I was like, did he think it was Chunks because it's cheeks? But he keeps calling her Sweet Chunks.
It's like, it's one of those confusing, like, are we meant to understand that that's him being aware that it's Sweet Cheeks, but he's deciding it's Sweet Chunks?
Sweet Chunks.
Does he not know?
It just kind of reminded about, remember like Bob and Rob or whatever from Dark DKR, how they're like, yo girl, you drive turkey, remember how they talk really like slangy and stuff.
That was like the future though.
Yeah, I understand it as the future, but what I'm saying is, whenever you're reading this thing, that's why I kind of thought it was a prequel to that, because of the way they talk, because it's really goofy in DKR sometimes. Whenever the mutants, when they talk, it's like that's not the way you're supposed to say that. That's strange.
But it's not my favorite, but there are parts of it I like, and I do like it when sometimes writers just decide, like, people can talk weird. We don't have to always try to be real. We can make an entire world.
It's comic booky, but this is like Frank Miller comic booky.
Yeah, but Sweet Chunks is just odd. It's just an odd choice.
Yeah, it was an odd thing. I even told my wife, I was like, "What? How would you feel if I called you Sweet Chunks?" And she's like, "No, don't."
I think that's the deal. We're gonna all do this to our wives throughout the week. And see how it goes. Except the next podcast, we'll let you know.
Yeah, let you know how it goes. My wife was not impressed.
The only thing Ty will say is like, I only hear just a high pitched ringing noise. I don't know what she's saying. So I guess you liked it.
Don't
know.
Tell you next time. Anyways, overall, did you boys enjoy this book? I enjoyed it.
I did.
I actually haven't finished it yet, but I have been enjoying it, and I have been really.
So you don't know the end where he dies.
Yeah, Batman just flat out dies.
Straight out dies.
And then Jim Gordon gets a mech suit and becomes the Batman.
He has these big rabbit ear things.
Yeah, he has these big rabbit ears. And he stops smoking, gets really skinny, and the way he stops smoking is candy cigarettes. It's
shaves his mustache. That was 20 years younger.
That's one of those. Do you ever have an artist you really like, but you're just like, I just wish someone else would tell them how to design things? Alex Ross is like that for me. I'm like, this, as long as he's drawing or painting someone else's design, great.
Yeah.
His own design's horrible, but not horrible.
Yeah, Capullo
across the board.
Capullo's mech suit.
When I'm like, okay, that was, man, he was just killing it, and then this comes out, and I'm like, it's the Super Bunny. Why is it the Super Bunny?
Yeah. It was the weirdest thing he did. Super Heavy was the weirdest idea. I was with you for a while, Zach. Or not Zach. I keep calling him Zach. Scott, I was with you for a while until you did this, and now, no, you lost me, bro. This is terrible.
I just noticed that, like, knowing you since you're little, like, you've hated everyone with the last name Snyder.
Yeah, Zach, every time. Snyder. Zach, Scott.
Snyder from what was the show? The old 80s show?
Snyder House
Val-
rules. No, I'm just kidding.
Valerie
House
Bertinelli's in it. Remember he was like the handyman. No,
Well, Ty just hates handyman.
Are you
in
saying
general.
Tool Time?
no, it was an
No,
old
this
show,
would have
had
been
Valerie
before Home Improvement.
Valerie Bertinelli, like all something or
All in the Family?
is it all in the
Head of the
family?
class.
Not head of the class.
Archie
But he was-
Bunker?
He was
Eight is enough.
he was like the handyman guy named Snyder, and he had like a Ernest
The
vest
facts,
on.
the facts of life.
He's got a little pencil mustache and black hair. No,
Jeez, you're
just-
reaching back, Bodz. Shit.
I
I don't know.
Well, that's the only
Facts of
Snyder I could
life,
think of for this joke. That's the only Snyder I could think of. So.
Well, I
Well,
would
you guys
trust
said
that
like D. Snyder. I
hated
hate
him.
D. Snyder because he's like,
Jeez,
we're not gonna take it unless the Democrats are dishing it out. That's
then
what
that's
he means.
fine. Then we could do that. That's fine. But yeah, so this year one here, there wasn't one art choice. So I'm like, I wish they didn't do that. No, everything worked. There are some modern art choices that I'm really like. This is why routinely there's always a DC's about to go bankrupt rumor or news article. It's like that's always happening. It's like they happen so often now. I'm like I don't doubt it, but I also don't. I'll also believe it when I see it because I hear that all the freaking time. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
they could
Well, I
learn
mean,
a thing or
DC
two about going back. to
DC
this.
is probably doing better than Marvel is at the moment, only because they were like whenever COVID hit, they were the ones that said, "Hey, we're not going to let Diamond Distributor be the sole distributor of our
Yes.
books. Like, we're not doing that." That's probably the smartest thing DC did. And then Marvel went with Penguin Random House because everybody knows like they shut down shop and they're like, we're not doing it. We're not going to work. Then now Diamond is in Chapter 11 bankruptcy now as a result because they
And,
don't have the big two.
I thought Diamond had like a weird connection to Penguin Random House. In some
I know
way,
I know that at one point that Lunar, which is the distributor for DC, was, I believe they were still having some distribution through Diamond, but then but I believe DC told them no, nothing, you can't do any of that anymore because they stiffed them on a bill or something like that.
Yeah, and man, I remember when DC switched. It was like it used to be the comics would come out on Wednesday at DC. It's like we're gonna come out on Tuesdays now.
Yeah, that was so weird.
And I felt like it was kind of weird at first, but I was like, well, I get the comics a day earlier. Normally, yeah, whatever,
Yeah.
And I really think that really set off. That was like the catalyst to Diamond. And it was funny. Like I don't know the ins and outs, but what I can tell you is that everywhere I looked, no one was too unhappy that time it was going out of business.
No, because they pulled a lot of horse shit back in the day. So yeah, people were too sad about it.
Yeah. So
yeah, nobody's sad to see him go. But anyways, well, we have one more segment. Do we have time for this last segment?
yeah.
We have 7 minutes exactly.
7
Seconds.
minutes.
Not really.
Starting now.
I'm not. I'm just saying that. I don't know.
I think we
Just
do.
tell
I think we do. Okay, guys. So we had one more segment that we wanted to do. Something that I think. Noe, did you come up with this? I can't. I don't remember if this was like a discussion.
Yes.
I'll
Okay.
take credit for it.
This
Was. I know what you're talking about now. Yeah, it's okay.
So we're going to let's switch to just a blank screen. I don't think we need anything for this. Let's just go to this. That was it. Okay, so we have a segment, and Noe went out and found this for us. This is his baby, so it's going to be quite funny. We're going to do a dramatic reading, and I don't know that dramatic reading is really going to happen out of this because we've read this thing and it's quite hard to read if I'm not honest.
Well,
I'm sorry if I'm
also,
honest about it.
There should be trigger warnings in place and language warnings,
Yeah,
content warnings.
I say that if you see a word in here that we probably shouldn't be saying or a phrase, let's use some other word. We're probably going to have to get pretty. We're going to have to get pretty creative here.
and it's fairly long, so I don't imagine we'll be able to get through all of it.
Yeah, I don't think we'll
but
be able to get through this whole thing. We'll just start with the very beginning. But we're doing a new segment. And let me get this set up here. We're calling it. Let me move on to the. It came from Tumblr.
You're
I can do a better job of that. It came from Tumblr.
It's like you just so the experience is so jarring. You just can't really mentally get yourself to be prepared for it.
No,
There are a few who can.
I think we need. I wish I had some like romantic music that wasn't
Oh yeah.
copyright.
Hey, this is in case we aren't back before in time for Valentine's Day. This will have to be our Valentine's Day segment.
Now you say that, I'm like, dang it, because next month I was gonna do Valentine's focused. I was gonna look at like famous couples. So, folks, if you want to see next month, we're gonna do like I was gonna have like Superman and Lois. We're gonna just pick little stories, arcs from each comic book character's favorite your famous couples out there.
Superman and the Mermaid, of course.
Superman and the Mermaid, as everybody knows.
Lori Loomis?
Lori something. I'm blanking on the name, but yes, the Mermaid.
But this is
nothing compared to this.
Nothing compared to this. Okay, I don't know who wants to start this off. This story is called Lust, and the rating is M on here. And it says, now that I read this, it says the characters are Dick plus the reader. Okay, so you're supposed to be. When I read this, it's about you, and you, and you. It uses you a lot in a weird way. So I don't know. Do you want to start this off, Noach, or do you want me to start this off?
I guess I'll start reading it. I'll take the hit here. First of all, a note from the authors is we're reading this, I guess we should credit the person's username at least, right?
Yeah. This is from a user on Tumblr called Millennials Life Crisis.
Yeah.
And they have, what are the emojis here? It's like a little chattering blue teeth, a rainbow crab. I guess that's the venereal disease.
A couple of check marks.
A couple of check marks. Another crab. Alien skulls. Some furry paws. Red paint and a typewriter. I don't know what any of that means.
They do say in this author note, I hope you enjoyed this fic. It is my first time writing something like this, and we can tell.
Yes.
So we'll let the viewers at home decide. Okay, going into this thing called Lust, and it is the Dick in question is Dick Grayson.
Yes, obviously. Nightwing.
Dick and you were sitting on the couch trying to be secrete. I'm not sure.
That's exactly what I thought when I was reading it. I was like, secrete.
Okay, it sounds like
I think they're trying to say secret. Okay, let's go on.
Sure. With your flirting and cuddling with Tim and Damien in the kitchen a few feet away from you two.
We need some commas in here, dude.
I know, it sounds like you're cuddling with Tim and Damien. I'm like, should we be reading this? I don't know. This sounds like, should we call the cops?
Yeah.
The siblings could sense that you needed some privacy, and Tim spoke. I hate how this is formatted. It's horrible.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Tim, I think an evening drive would be lovely tonight. Yes, we could see the sunset. I know you love the Gotham sunset. Tim snorted and played along. He played along, not played along, but he played along.
You want me to? Okay, so that was who is this? This was Damien, right? And now this is you want me to be Tim?
Sure.
I go, yes. That sounds wonderful. Will you two be all right if we went? He addresses you and Dick. You nodded eagerly. Damien went back to grab the car keys from the hook on the door. We shouldn't be more than a few hours or so. You two have fun. They left in a hurry. And I guess who's this? Okay, this would be Dick talking, right?
It says you.
Or this is you. Okay.
So
I guess you go on to that one.
I will try to be clean in language. Fracking finally. It does not say fracking. It says the F word.
He says the F word.
Yeah, because in every DC comic, there's dropping bombs all the time. I thought they just going rogue with this is so weird. I thought we'd never get some time to ourselves tonight. Dick laughed. There's a comma. There's a comma, so I guess that's the. I don't know who's talking right now, but
I get confused the entire time of this.
Dick laughed and pulled you into his lap and went for a kiss. It was electric and needy. Tongues danced around each other as they tried to swallow the other into the kiss. You sighed heavily and gently bit Dick's bottom lip, sucking on it, causing Dick to let out a deep groan. You two broke apart, panting heavily. So confusing how this is written. Staring into each other's eyes for a moment before going back to another needy kiss.
Needy kiss. It's a needy kiss. I've got to have you, he said. Please, your hands worked on the belt, undoing it with ease and with quick, nimble fingers. Dick could feel himself getting aroused and painfully hard from the friction of your thighs rubbing against him as you two made out sloppily. He hisses, as you cupped his bulge through his pulse. And Dick leaned into the touch.
So, let me remind you, this is about comic book superheroes.
Mm-hmm. So I'm assuming you is either Barbara Gordon.
No, you are the person. This
Starfire.
No, I can't tell. Is this the fourth person? I don't know.
It's so confusing.
It's confusing to read.
Well, I think there's some anatomical clarifications here. I think so. It goes on to say, Dick wasted no time in getting your clothing off fully, being thrown across the room haphazardly. Dick moved his mouth to your neck and sucked and gently bit at the soft skin. You mewled in pleasure, your body on fire, as Dick gave a series of kisses down your collarbone where he bit hard, causing you to yelp and jump. Oh, wow.
Sorry.
Eesh.
Too hard? He mumbled as he steadied your hips against his and rocked into yours. Yes or no? Let out a soft
I don't know.
sigh.
There's an option there.
Why is that? Why is that there?
Y/N. Yes or no?
Let out a soft sigh at the movement.
So, did we do that or not? I don't know.
I guess you
choose your
make
own
that
adventure.
decision yourself.
Choose your own.
Turn to page 5 to find what happens.
Pick your
See if
adventure.
there's more mewling. No, love. I will definitely have a love bite there tomorrow. Capital Y for the U. No, there's a comma right there. You toyed with Dick's nipples, twisting and pinching them, causing the clone to let out. Now there's a clone. Causing the clone. This isn't the real Dick.
Causing clone to let a small hiss of play. What is the clone? I'm so confused by this.
So, is this a clone situation?
Causing the clone. What is that?
I don't know.
Causing the clone. I'm trying to understand what that might.
At first, I thought it was cologne because girls don't know how to spell cologne. They spell it usually colon.
Colon.
The clone.
The clone. Now, like all of a sudden, oh, by the way, this is a clone. Did we not say that?
You're teasing me, babe. Oh, sorry. You're a tease, babe. He said as he took out one of your breasts into his mouth and sucked hard.
So that's impossible.
So it is a woman. Okay, so that's good. You let out a louder moan as your sensitive nipple was being played with Dick's mouth. Oh, God.
Yeah.
Wait, what issue is this?
Huh?
No, I'm kidding.
This is still your one?
You're one.
There would be another hickey there as well.
Oh, man. We might need to have Trump read these. He swelled.
Oh my God. I can't. I've taken it off that, but I would totally do that.
Heat swelled in your lower belly, and Dick could feel your pussy getting
Okay, no.
Uh,
We're gonna say kitty cat or something there.
that's technically a word. You wanted to touch yourself so badly, but Dick wouldn't allow it, not without permission. That's how all clones work. They.
I don't. I'm sorry.
How
I've
much
lost.
more of this we
I've
can
laughed
take?
so hard that I've lost my place several times. Where are you? You did the heat.
I need you to touch me, please.
I need you to touch me, please.
Another capital line.
You whispered
It's the royal you.
into his man's ears, into the man's ears.
Into the man.
Please,
too. Okay.
Please, love. Dick chuckled. Dick chuckled low and moved his hands down his lover's body, slowly teasing the hot flesh and feather lightly touch, cause you to arch into the touch. And then she says, S word, Dick.
Oh man. Okay. Dick reached the hem of the panties that you wore and paused for a moment to look at them. They were light blue with a small bow and lace trim. He couldn't wait to take them off, but there would be enough time. Using one of his fingers, Dick rubbed a dick rubbing going on. Dick rubbed a knuckle against the soft fabric and noticed how wet you were already. You involuntarily pushed into his touch, letting out another needy moan. They're so needy. We're going to come to a stopping point soon, but yes. Come on.
Freck, you've already... Oh, my God. Freck, you're already so... aroused. I'm not going to say the word. For me, baby. He whispered, and he rubbed through the thin material. You let another whimper of pleasure and hitched their lips into the touch. Hitch their hips into the touch. How much do you want me?
Please, Dick, please. I need you, please. You whispered in a husky tone. I guess it should have been
tone. Is she a
Dick,
big girl?
Please.
Please, Dick.
Maybe.
Please. I gotta do this. I'm sorry. Every time I read this part now, I gotta get. Let's see. I'm on the right one.
Okay, let's see. Please, Dick. Please, I need you.
It's
been a long time.
It's Giganta is who he's making it with. Making time with here. You whispered in a husky tone. It's been too long. Dick rubbed your sensitive mound a little harder, making sure not to rub the sensitive bud too much. Gotta work sensitive and sweet with that bud.
But it goes on like this. I don't know if we should keep going because
it's so much of this. It goes on and on like this. I don't know if Tim and Damon ever come back or what. Maybe Batman walks in.
I need an adult.
It's so jarring. And, I have seen some stuff on Tumblr that's fun, and then there's this whole other side of Tumblr that makes you just want to just wash your brain with soap. You know what I mean? It just makes you ugh. Like there's a whole community of these people roaming the earth.
I just
freely.
Roaming the earth, procreating with fictional characters.
Yeah, there you go. The weird personage that this is written in. Is it first, second, or I don't know. I cannot tell when they say you.
Yeah,
you,
so it's like. I mean, I think I understand that you're supposed to just
Dick and you. It's just a weird way of saying that.
Yeah.
You're supposed to be like, oh, I can be me. I can imagine Dick? Myself, and it sounds like a concept that is, easy enough to comprehend, but when you actually start writing it, it gets kind of dicey.
There's not enough commas.
Maybe
they don't really believe in too many periods in their sentences. It's like Rosie O'Donnell wrote this. I'm telling you.
Maybe it's like that episode of The Office where he wrote the threat level midnight, and he changed the Dwight's name in all of the characters except for one. You could tell he auto changed it, so maybe it was named something at one time, and then he just we're just gonna change it to you.
yeah, just you. Where you works.
Yeah, you works for everything.
You works in
The
every
only
situation.
thing, the only saving grace is that at least Dick Grayson, I think, is straight in this.
Yeah,
I was not expecting that.
When they said boob and mouth, I was going, yeah, that's probably straight.
Okay, because
Unless it's like it was a husky tone. He's like,
yeah. So now you're starting to wonder, like, well, is it
I really want boob and mouth.
that's what I get from a husky tone.
Yeah, it's just, man, and it's sort of, this is one of the reasons why I don't read romance, for one thing, because it's also silly, and I don't think I could ever actually write it myself. I figured it would just be,
come on, you have to do something.
Two things would happen. Either I would be really bad at it, or I'd be very, very good at it. I would not be happy with that.
Either situation.
I'm like, why am I so good at this?
that was the maiden voyage of. It came from Tumblr. I keep trying to say Twitter. It's not Twitter. It came from Tumblr.
And it certainly came.
Yeah. All right. Well, guys, you'll think you've had enough tonight. I don't know if this was a good comeback or a bad comeback or what. It's definitely been a little all over the place. Technical difficulties, people rubbing each other's buds. I mean, if you were to give that a score, what would you give it? I'd give it like maybe 2 husky tones out of 5.
2. Well, I gave it 2 10s out of 5, I think, but 3 Damians out of 5. So I don't know.
I mean, what's the conversion rate for those? I don't know.
I don't know.
I do give it 2 things up.
Well, gentlemen, I really appreciate you coming back for the Middle-Aged Mutants show for our comeback episode. I want to thank anybody who came in to watch the show. I want to bid you a thank you. It's had its ups and downs. It's certainly been a little bit more risque than we usually are, but I really hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, go ahead, maybe like us, subscribe. If you don't like us, thumbs us down. I don't care at this moment. We did get 4 subscribers last time we did a stream, so we're at 38, boys. Air's getting a little bit thin up here.
Whoa, all right.
So we'd like to at least get to 40 by the end of this week. That'd be great. But anyways, I appreciate you guys coming out, and we'll see you guys on the next Middle-Aged Mutant show.